Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ordinary Council meeting 25th of September 2025. Warren Shire Council acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands within the Warren Shire and acknowledges the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who reside within this shire. I'm calling for apologies for leave of absence. Councillor Kelly and Councillor Cleasby, and we wish Councillor Cleasby all the best in his current illness. Could I have a mover, a seconder for the confirmation of the minutes of the ordinary meeting Thursday, the 28th of apologies at applications for leave. Councillor Derrick.
Back the other way. Derrick was really quick.
Yep.
Right, I'm not going to carry on with that. Motion for confirmation of minutes for the last meeting, please, on the 28th of August. Councillor Surdity, Councillor McKay, you'll be in my aisle line later, Councillor. All those have we got anything that's coming to mind? The relevance of that, it's a month old. Is there anything that you want to bring up? Anything? Nothing? So I'll put that we confirm the minutes of the last meeting. All those in favour? Thank you. Disclosure of interest. I'm not aware of any. Does anyone wish to bring up a disclosure of interest in anything on the business paper today?
Nil received.
Nil received. Thank you. There is no mayoral minute. Reports of committees. The first is our Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee held on Tuesday, the 2nd of September. Looking for a mover and seconder. Councillor Derrick, Councillor Houston. Councillor Derrick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's a few recommendations here that are generally reassuring that the committee is satisfied with the direction that our audit, risk and improvement areas are going in. We also have set the dates for the next year. I guess just a general comment. I feel that we're still coming across some challenges in communicating between council staff members and the independent members. So still trying to get on the same page a little bit. And I think that has been exacerbated by having Teams meetings. So the fact that we're not in the same room, I think a bit of time is wasted going back and forth, trying to work out what page somebody's looking at, inadvertently speaking over one another sometimes. It's been a little bit tedious, I would say. That being the case, our next meeting is a face-to-face here at council, and on that day, which is the 18th of November, our chair has also suggested that interested council to meet with the ARIC committee, which I think would be a good opportunity for as many as possible to actually come and meet our independent members and have a bit more of a informal discussion, I guess, about what our expectations are and how things operate in our council meetings in particular. But I think that will be a positive step, and as I said, a much more efficient meeting is expected, being face to face on that day. That's all that I would like to say, but happy to take any comments or questions. Thank you.
Do I gather, Councillor, that the process is getting more efficient? So
I would say, Mr. Mayor, slowly, yes, but as I said, it's just been a little bit tedious with the Teams meeting communication, but we're getting there.
Councillor Brewer.
A question, Councillor Derrett, through the chair, if you don't mind. Item 8.2 confuses me a little bit. It says that the committee advises that it considers that the organisation is okay, but then it wants further information. So is it or isn't it? I think it's a conflicting couple of paragraphs there. I didn't understand the context.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is as per the recommendation from the committee. And I guess that is basically what I mentioned about trying to get onto the same page. So the committee is seeking reassurance from council staff members that there is actually the end-to-end process in terms of the monitoring. So they're satisfied. I think the general manager would like to comment in a moment, but they're satisfied that we have things in place, but they just want a little bit more reassurance as to how that plays out in practice. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So, Mr.
One
Mayor,
further comment or question, if you don't mind. Prior to the next meeting, it's proposed to go and inspect 2 projects. Is that inside the expected scope or the terms of reference for what this team does? Physically inspect projects?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So that was just an idea again to get a bit of a better handle on things on the ground. So they're not here to inspect as such, but just to cast their eyes over some of the projects and some of the things that we've been looking at as part of the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee. So some of these projects are mentioned in some of the reports in terms of the risk assessments and the risk management. So that was just that because the committee is going to be here, there might be a good opportunity to have a bit more of a look around and get more of a general understanding. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
From the outsiders looking in, so I'm not involved, Councillor Brewer and councillors. The chairman and they're very experienced local government, but they're certainly not experienced in our local. So the bringing in them face to face and on site was something that I encouraged, but I do feel for Deputy Mayor Derrett in the frustration of 100% Teams meetings. I find difficult. So the more, and then the encouragement of all bureaucrats, whatever level in this area and water area, face to faces, and getting them here and showing them culture, I think is important. You got any comments, Jennifer? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'll just thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll just preempt maybe something that GM might mention, that the idea of having Teams meetings was for cost reasons. So it's, yes, we can't have every meeting here face to face, unfortunately, because apart from one of our independent members, the other 2 aren't close enough to be able to get here every time. But that being the case, I do see it as a very positive step that we are going to have the opportunity to meet more councillors with the committee and for them to have a bit of a look around while they're here. So they're really going to be utilising the time they've got on the 18th of November to gather as much on the ground information. And I think that can only be a positive step in the way we'll be operating from here. Thank you.
Gentlemen,
on 8.2, Councillor Brewer, you've got a risk management framework for its major projects, and so the committee's saying fantastic, everything's there. We just want to see how you're monitoring and doing the mitigation functions that are contained within that risk management framework.
any other comments or input? If not, I'll put that. Our next one in item 7 is the meeting of the Sporting Facilities Committee held on Wednesday of September. Councillor McCloskey, Councillor Mackay, Councillor McCloskey.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. There wasn't a lot we had at the meeting, so there's no major recommendations from the committee to council other than to accept the minutes. What was discussed in general business were a number of items that we spoke about, particular reference to the irrigation system on all our parks and reserves, that they be functioning effectively and efficiently given that summer is pending. So we don't want them to be an issue. You know, we want them working before then, as opposed to trying to fix a problem be once found in summer. Not saying you won't find that, but we need to make sure that they're effectively working now. Also, there was an issue with regards to access to the toilets at the Sporting and Cultural Centre that we're investigating, or they're going to be an investigation into installing more handrails with regards to an incident that was happened over there where a handrail potentially could have been a bit of a saviour in terms of what happened. So, but other than that, and also the drainage issue at Carter, which the Mayor might enlighten us a little bit more about, given that there was a meeting, I think, Monday week ago on site with respect to what's happening re the drainage at Carter Oval moving forward down there into the future.
Thanks, Councillor, and I'll get the meeting re Carter Oval and the Tim Jenkins plan, the survey options. We had meetings with turf supplier engineers, Sylvester, his staff down there last Monday, and there is a plan. There is a plan to fix the drainage there as the best we can. That will involve possibly lifting the pitch about 150 millimetres, which is not detrimental to anything that the pitch is there. It'll just be top dressed and built up, and that will instill a slope with earthworks, a slope and top dressing come on over, and the staff and contractors and Tim Jenkins, there'll be some action down there, hopefully to be finished by the end of next month. So we got the growing season to get that done and finished and be adequate for use both from athletics and cricket point of view for 12 months from now. Just watch this space, but there will be some earthworks and top dressing taken in there in the next months, and the plan is that this will be fixed. The drainage issue will be plans are underway to have it fixed in the next couple of months. You got any other comments, Sylvester?
Mr. Mayor, thank you for coming. So we are engaging with at least 4 contractors to do the job. We have Tavalot, Nilat Moving, Tim Jenkins, and others to help us with the job.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'm just wondering what the damage was at Victoria Park Grandstand. Damage to equipment. It's got in item 7.
Rusting of these main steel struts that are trying to work out if we can fix it or not.
Okay.
It's fixable. It was a design fault in it, Councillor Houston. The design fault was that the wire rope safety cables were drilled through the RHS. That allowed water to be inside the RHS instead of running them through a pipe thing, which was a design fault, which luckily was picked up by our staff before anything made it. Councillor McCoskey.
Through the mayor, just in light of that, have we moved forward on that in terms of any determination what can be done?
I can't comment. It's down at the yard. Both our engineering works in town have been asked to comment. They are under stress at the moment, but the process is underway. Kant's engineering and Mason's. So,
Through the mayor again, if I might. Just with regard to Carter Oval and drainage issue and the fact that potentially we're going to lift the pitch and create a gradient from there out to drain the water.
Yeah.
That will necessitate the sprinkler system or the sprays to be raised up somewhat in the ground as well.
no, the mains of the sprays are far enough underground that
Yeah.
they're not, but they're on the
Swing arm,
swing arm. So that the
that's what I mean. Yeah, the spray.
mechanics of that are not a problem. The staff at the moment are geolocating them. The swing arms will have to be removed and then replaced with the contractor, and the details of that have been underway, Councillor McCoskey. Anything else before I put that one? All those in favour of receiving that, thank you, Gary. The last one on item 7 is the meeting of the Manx on Tuesday, the 16th of September. Looking for a mover and second of this to get discussion underway. Please, Councillor McCarthy, Councillor Jackson, gentlemen, has you got anything to approve us on the matter?
Only yesterday we received advice that our next 2 trainee apprentice positions in that round 3 of the Fresh Start program, another heavy vehicle mechanic and a gardener has been approved. Reasonable chance that we'd like to receive a suitable application for trainee plant operator. Hopefully that will be transferred to add to those 2 that will cross fingers as an early January 26 start. If anybody knows, if anybody's interested in those 3, trainee plant operator, apprentice gardener and apprentice heavy vehicle mechanic, we've got 3 jobs going very soon for a January start.
I think we need to, as a community and as an organisation, cast our minds over who might be out of our community and actually target us. It's our communications and advertising generically don't seem to be working. So if anyone knows of anyone inclined that way, please, Councillor McCoskey.
Through the mayor, just in light of the positions vacant, the 3 contract positions for at least 2 years, are they there in relation to the pending work or the work that we're doing with the flood damage and the like that's going to, just thinking that we'll end up finishing the work before we get anyone to do the work.
Understand, just in case we find someone called. Because that 2 years is just there. And that's why it says up to 2 years.
Yeah.
Dr. McCarthy.
For you, Mayor. So all the positions vacant there in the human resource columns, I assume they're all budgeted positions, are they?
Yes.
So if we don't fill them for a year, we're going to have significant savings.
It's not quite as simple as that, Councillor McKay, because a lot of that stuff has, if you've got to go and find a contractor to do it. It's not
Okay.
equal, if you know.
So things like the management account, as an example.
Yeah.
Okay. The second question, could you just give an update on the aerodrome? What is that's now certified?
Yes.
Just a quick explanation as to what it was, which it was uncertified. Why?
So now the And we call it, so we're looking at page 12, councillors.
In general business, yeah.
So the manual is the manual that gets certified. And any safety findings or safety observations ticked off, which have been done. And so manual being certified makes the aerodrome certified. And so a further report will go to the next Airport Operations Committee, answering all the things that were to be answered about certification. When you relate to have a look at the resolutions a bit further on, there's some further reporting, but the certification has happened.
Okay, good one. The other one was the Gillaroo School. Has that started or is it planning stages or?
Planning stages, I believe.
It's located out of,
Sorry, through you, Mr Mayor. Next week is the first one.
and at the parents' place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'll be going along to bits and pieces of it, so see how it goes.
How many applicants?
I'm not sure. Yeah. I would, if I was guessing, I'd say under 10.
Yeah, there was comments.
Because there is a tautology there.
Yes.
Manager, there's no such thing as a male Gillaroo, so doesn't need to be a female Gillaroo school.
I'll pick that up.
Thank you. Purposely left in, and I think there's a prize for you, councillor. Righto. Have an opportunity.
Sorry.
Councillor,
It's there. In relation to the aerodrome certification, yes, we've got a airport committee meeting soon. Is it any advantage to the users of the airport to know that that's available already or not? Okay, just check.
yeah, just those that are on those councillors are on the airport committee, I strongly encourage them to encourage airport users that are committee to actually come to the meeting. Well, so I'm going to put that received and noted Mannix committee. All those in favour? We're reporting now formally on reports from delegates, and the first one I move in a second. I'll move that the Country Mayors Association held on Friday the 8th of August. I'll formally move that, and seconded Councillor Derrett. I think I reported to you in the pre-meeting because we didn't have the formal minutes of the last meeting. The there, and if you remember, we talked to a senior assistant commissioner, Mr. Greentree, and also some legal judge reported to us. Since then, as of yesterday, we have a new commissioner of police, Mal Langdon. He's the person that was in the flood space that helped us achieve getting paid some money when we were last in Sydney 3 months ago. So he's gone back from the flood and space back to the police, and he's been appointed last. And yeah, personally, I think probably a good decision. He was very, very helpful to me. He's an approachable guy. The challenges of being in the political space as commissioner of police, I probably wouldn't swap them jobs. As far as that my comments to you last time were exactly the same. The country mayors is probably the most productive time that I spend away from here. We're all like-minded people at the right, in the same space. It is a lot more productive than some trips I make. I've not got any questions of that. I'll put that, all those in favour. Thank you, councillor. Item 2, the ordinary general meeting associated mine and energy rated councils incorporated on the 11th of September. Moving to the mover, councillor McKay, a second, councillor Euston, councillor McKay.
Yeah, I know that the report be tabled. And just, myself, the mayor and general manager sat in on a rather long Teams meeting the other day. As I do question our involvement in this, it seems to be an organisation that is still struggling within itself to really know what it's trying to do. It's there for mining and energy related, so it's got this conflict between digging up stuff and then building stuff, as in building towers and solar panels. And then you have councils that are predominantly mining and councils like ours that may be more renewable. So, and then there's a big struggle internally to try and get the royalties for region program, which used to be there, reinstated in some way, because that has meant that those councils that got millions of dollars from that are just not getting that anymore. So there's various campaigns being organised, and some councils want it, some don't. So it seems a little bit all over the shop at the moment. So it's probably an organisation we don't really need to be devoting a lot of time, energy or money towards.
Councillor, I can concur. I think we'll keep ourselves on the side of this space and just observe. General Manager, you got no comment on that? If there's no other comment, I'll put, would we receive that, please? All those in favour? We're moving on to reports. Policy with council. This is our policy review. Our asbestos policy. So can I have a mover and a second to Councillor Kinsey, Councillor Surdin, Councillor Kinsey?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a comprehensive policy, this one, but one that struck out at me a bit. If an individual wanted to remove asbestos, it's a very expensive thing to do. I made an investigation if I wanted to take some asbestos to Dubbo, for argument's sake, or to go to somewhere up north. Dubbo could cost you $600 a tonne to dump it at Dubbo. I find it extraordinary that it is that expensive to do. That's it from me, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I back your comments, but it's something you can't get out of. The average demolition cost of a burnt house is $75,000. And that's not a very big house.
No.
So, yeah. Councillor Surdin.
Just a query, if I can, please. When we first all came on council, we got those folders with all of the policies. They're now pretty much all defunct, aren't they? Because they've been updated with the ones we've been approving.
The wording has changed, yeah.
So we can scrap them.
And there's some new ones as well.
Just trying to find.
That's correct. And look, if you're looking for council policies, use our internet as our intranet. It's very helpful. The website. I use it all the time.
I strongly encourage everybody. I don't think we need a 120 mil folder as bedside reading, you know. this organisation uses more paper than it has to anyway, so I don't think printing of a full policy thing. In this day and age, we're all mature enough to know how to use Dr. Google and get it.
Thank you.
This is all in legislation anyway, but no other comment. I'll put this. No discussion. All in favour? Thank you. Now we're going through reports from the general manager. Looking for a motion to receive the outstanding reports checklist. One, Councillor Wass and Councillor Sturdy. Councillor Wass. For the scope of General Manager, do you want to quickly go through that, or the ones that are highlighted to be gone?
Lucky first one. That's gone nowhere. In fact, I contacted their officer and he was pretty upset that the committee that was looking at those black spot things didn't even look at any of their actions. Just they've gone wayward. I don't know, Mr. Mayor, how Warrenshire and other ones around us can improve our Telstra, well, communication facilities. We've got NBN now to the house and ability in Warren. Nothing yet for Nevertime. Perhaps a radius to your place.
Yeah, approximate 10K, but there's a hole along the highway. So the tower, for your information, councillors, the tower up near Maple Street is now operative as a wireless NBN tower. So you have an option to go with your service provider to either, if you live in town, to get fibre to your house. That I would suggest cheaper than you'll ever do it ever. Your service provider, you need to go to your service provider, whether you're who you're buying your internet space off to get, and then they will tell NBN to come and cable your house. That's fine. As long as you're at a certain level, that won't cost you too much. As far as the wireless component of NBN, the map is a little bit fuzzy at the moment. It's not a strict oval around. It would go from here to Sandy Creek possibly in that radius, or out to Bundamar Road. That Councillor McKay, I think you could get it if you wanted it. But there is still a massive hole in the map re the Nevertime village, and we interviewed a NBN bureaucrat here the other day. They're trying to work on problems around Nevertime. Just amazingly, the gap in the NBN wireless network to Nevertime is exactly the same sort of footprint as the Telstra NextG map, and why nobody seems to know. Councillor McCoskey.
Through the chair, just a couple of questions. With respect to the proposed, on page 14 and the proposed national polo cross title, is there any movement in that space with respect to moving forward, or is it just a pie in the sky type dream?
Entirely up to that subcommittee to progress things, and nothing's happened. We provide help and advice to them as much as possible. We're waiting.
It's good, nothing happening.
Yeah.
Just, also another question, Mr. Chair. Page 15, the airport operational manual update, and the manual has been submitted to CASA July 28. Can that be removed given we're now certified?
just help me a little bit on the one you're talking about is,
So on page 15 of your report, halfway down, airport operational manual update.
thank you for that. There are other ones that are still reporting to the airport committee.
Councillor, we might let the dust settle with the next airport committee meeting before we do that.
Just to quickly go through, on page 3, it's just a tidy up of what's happening at the school and in the end, I think we'll have a bit of a careers day at the school, as well as trying to do something in relation to those three positions that might help some youth apply for jobs at Warren Shire. Onto page 6, we're just tidying up all the policies that have been completed and done and dusted. Same with page 7. Same with page 8. To page 10, that we a small service review was done of Service New South Wales that went to the committee. And then you've got your library internet policies and investment policy tidy ups on page 11. Same with the 2 policies on page 12 and the financial reports been done and signed and are ready to be put in the documents to go to OLG and our annual report. A little bit of tidy up of what's happening. A fair amount of, I think, good work, good quality work of our rock armouring is happening around town. Trying to make sure we stay within budget. Some things are under, some things are over. We've got one that's going to hopefully be a saving with a fair reduction in how many cubic metres of rock are going a little bit further downstream, because there was a little bit more on this one. I'll call it Hale to Lawson. As I say, Councillor McCloskey, it's all in the hands of that subgroup of people who are interested in doing that polo across 2028. It's entirely up to them and hasn't gone anywhere. Thanks for that pickup on the middle of page 15. Stockgrid's policy is further been done and dusted, but on page 19, the report for written for a roads committee on the 14th of October, not the 7th. It's been moved. Page 20, this contract being finalised and information being given to the services club. A little bit of tidy up on page 22, 23.
Councillor McKay.
Just a question, re the Destination Quarry Marshes Task Force. So I see is that a task force that reports to which
Economic Development and Promotions Committee.
Yeah, cool, fantastic. And the interaction between that and Rivers, is there any interaction?
River Smart are members of the Macquarie Marshes Task Force.
They are?
Yes. Three representatives.
And is that task force is primarily designed to promote RMI as a tourist?
The marshes in whole.
Marshes in whole?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, no, there's, Councillor Carrot, you want to comment?
Yeah, no, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't know if there's much more to say on that, but we haven't had any Destination Macquarie Marshes Task Force meetings recently. And as you're all aware, the big priority in that area is the Country Heartline project. So we really need to keep focus on that, and Macquarie Marshall's task force members are certainly part to that also. Thank you.
Any other?
I just also had a question. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Ken.
The garden day that's coming up, we talked about having to provide parking attendants and various things over WOW. Is that still,
No, we're not.
we're not going to be doing that?
Setting up signage and that's it.
That's it? No problems?
Councillor Houston.
Mr Mayor, a quick question from page 1. When are the council blocks being put on the market? Saying in the future, but what's that timeline?
When that time to discuss it with the four those in town. Yeah, anybody can come and if signage says that they're for sale already, anybody can come and see us now.
Just item 3, the work progress. Sorry. On page, it was to do with the mediation for the Deacon Drive. Is that confidential or is it was an outcome for that? It's confidential.
Comments? Anyone else? Well, with that, all those in favour? Thank you. Thank you, councillors. Item 2. We stand. Looking. In recognition of Warren being a healthy town and to keep awareness of a healthy lifestyle, council will be standing while dealing with item 2 of the general manager's report, which is the committee delegates meeting. Looking for a mover and a seconder, councillor Sernity, councillor Kinsey. Councillor Sernity.
Just an observation, if I can, please. You've got the library in the meetings already held. We've done the one for the Northwestern Library at Lingen. We need to add on for the 18th and the 19th for the zone, Central West Zone Library meeting. That was in class. Didn't get your report because I didn't have a computer. But there will be one coming for that. So that's done and dusted.
Thank you, councillor. Any other comment? Councillors? Councillor Kinsey.
Yeah, just the roads committee meeting on the 14th of October. We got a time for that at all?
11 a.m. I think it is.
Sorry, what time?
11.
11, thank you.
You should have that on your phone, councillor. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you, yeah. Any other comments? I'll only put the words that's received and noted. All those in favour? Thank you, councillors. Item 3 is the works progress report, infrastructure projects. Looking for a mover and a second to get discussion underway, please. Councillor McKay, Councillor Wass. Thank you, Councillor McKay.
I'll move that you received and noted. And just a question, Restart New South Wales, Warren FTP update. What's that? This is the first line item.
Sewage treatment plant,
Oh, sewage treatment, okay, yep.
and that's decommissioning of the old one, which Mr. Mayor, the children started by putting fire to one shed there already. That's all part of. We're not doing that until everything is right at the new one, which is almost finished, except for that inlet rework. And then we've got some decommissioning work, both at the treatment plant and at Gillendoon Street, old Gillendoon Street pump station.
Those who are not aware, there was a fire inside of it pump station last Sunday. Luckily, there was nothing in there of any value. But Mr. Engineer, Director, there is a water leak over there somewhere because there, the road access to the old pumping station is 150 or so mils underwater. The EPA need to be involved. What we would like to do is the evaporation pond closest to the walkway. We use that involved in the experience over there, but it's all up to the decommissioning and the EPA requirements. Councillors, any other projects that are?
Question about the EV charges. What is the charging, the financial charging process there?
Nil.
No.
Nil to the user?
Yes, nil.
So who's buying the power? Is
Warranshire Council on part of the community is doing it. That was the idea for a couple of years.
Potential impost on ratepayer to
Yes,
provide that.
yes. Watching it very carefully, but with the amount of charging, it's probably about maximum $2,000 a year.
That's a budgeted amount, or is that a fixed charge that?
Maximum usage of the facility 24/7 of charging will probably be 2,000 a facility. That's what was worked out at the very beginning, and council resolved not to charge for a while. We're going to watch and see what happens.
That you'll be aware, council will be aware of
Yes.
what
What's happening?
what the electricity usage is
Yeah.
Yeah, that's metered
so far.
It's metered. That's very little.
To try to explain, this is that you can work out 24/7 times 365 days a year how much the maximum charge would ever be. And it's $2,000 per site.
Yeah, I was going to say that's through the chair.
That's if you had a car there.
That maximum charge is for a 24/7, 365
Everyone straight in and
all the time. So,
we're monitoring it. For example, when people want to come and knitting and they're local, we're just wondering why they're doing it instead of what really is supposed to be is someone comes along and comes through our VIC, grabs lots of things and for 30 minutes or an hour charges and then keeps going. So we're watching what's going on.
The fact is, councillor, at the moment, to do an extraction and do the timing and do the charging would cost more than what the power's going to charge. Okay. At this stage. And the speed of them as well, you know, they're not super quick chargers. Not that I've got expertise in that field. Any other comments on council?
Just to comment on the EV applications out there, I seem to be bailed a bit about what a dumb thing it was to do, put it in a right way, and I push back pretty hard on it, and I just think it's probably something that as a council we should be aware of, and the complaint seems to be that 2 valuable parking spaces have been taken up, because of like a traffic jam out there most days, as you know. So I think it's worth pointing out that it costs the council nothing. Number one, we had to put it on council land. We couldn't put it in another spot, so it had to be on council land. Number two, EVs are coming, Number three, and it means you have to walk another 10 metres to get to a shop. We apologise for that.
I had a little bit of pushback too, and I suggested that I was a little bit more cynical than you, councillor. I thought that an extra 10 metres walk probably would do you good.
Another question, if I may, Mr. Mayor, is it's EV parking only if citizen Joe parks there without intent to charge? Is he in breach of any regulation?
Yes, that's why I went through the traffic committee. You could be fined. Same as parking in the disabled car parking space without being a disabled stickered car next door to it.
Okay.
And it's only 2 out of 85. Councillor McCoskey, you're
No, I'm just
you're
fiddling.
there.
He's thinking of buying an EV, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's good to have levity, but yeah, is there any other matters that need put up? If not, I'll put that all those in favour. Thank you, councillors. Item 4, meeting dates, times and order of business. We'll no, Councillor McCoskey, Councillor Surdity, Councillor McCoskey.
Just through the chair, now just move the recommendation as a table.
General Manager.
Mr. Mayor, now, time of writing this report, you look at in the recommendation, it stays where it is, like what we moved, but we don't have a public forum. For probably 2 terms, we've never had a public forum. The advice from Office of Local Government is we can continue not having a public forum. But the way, and we've received that writing, both in writing and kind of verbally from the OLG. And so that's what the Mayor, Deputy Mayor, myself and Jodie are going to be doing on Saturday is having a go at trying to redo our code of meeting practice. And so where it says may be required from the 1st of January 26 was put there and it's relatively May. What they've said is that if you do have it, you have to follow the rules. If you don't have it, I know what you're doing. One word everyone know. That's why it's in italic and it's got that word may in front of it. Thanks, Joe. Yeah.
Just one query. In the rules and regs that should be coming in, the way we do the 8 o'clock, that will be.
Sorry, councillor.
Sorry, I'm losing my voice. With the new rules and regs that are coming in,
Yeah.
through the code of whatever you want to call it, the 8 o'clock that we've normally been doing, will we be reverting back just to the 8:30?
No.
It still will be 8 o'clock.
It'll be discussions, the 8 o'clock discussions can discuss anything that's not on the business page.
Yeah. So that will still
The
stay.
details of that we're working out on Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
It shouldn't take long. There's certain terminologies and private discussions between staff and individual councillors, we've got to be a bit careful on it because they call them private briefings. But the Councillor Derrett, General Manager, myself and Joe will be going through that and find tooth comb and we'll report to you in October. And that gives 2 months before we're going to start.
Thank you.
Oh,
With a different example. You can't talk about a matter that is already on the agenda. I'll give you the scenario. The estimates and draft annual operational plan. You ever noticed that it was always in, say, mid-April, where we sat down and had the workshop? Not on the agenda of the April meeting yet. But as soon as it is, can't have it in that week. You can have it beforehand. So we can all have a quality discussion, not because it's actually supposed to be all live streamed if you're having a discussion on a matter that's on the agenda. So you can have that 2 or 3 hour quality meeting of going through line item and having an understanding of our estimates and our annual operational plan, because it's not on the agenda yet.
For the same week.
Not in the same week, because you've received the agenda and it's been made public.
Gotcha. So as of Friday, the week before, councillor. So we, our communication from, say the Hogs head of government staff through to you guys, we have a formalised committee structure where a lot of councils don't do that. We've just got to be aware of the new rules. The way we communicate stuff together. If anything that comes out on out in this booklet on Friday, it's got to be discussed in open council in front of the camera, like. But our committee structure that we've got, and it's been working here for previous generations of councils, will continue and possibly could be more important. And the final, as I said, nuts and bolts, Councillor Derrick, myself and GM and with Elf and Jody will be checking over on them. Any other comments? If that's the case, I'll put that received and noted, please. Recommendation, sorry, I'm getting into trouble today. Item 5, Christmas closure. Could I have a mover and a second to get the discussion of that underway? Please, Councillor Kinsey, Councillor Watts. Councillor Kinsey.
For discussion, Mr Mayor, or the recommendation.
General Manager, you've got a comment? Oh, look, everyone takes leave anyway, but what we've got is just a horrible day in between. I believe that Friday would no one would ever come in anyway. So that's a slight change. Normally we would have 3 days and then there's 2 days, but there's only 1 day in the middle. So the place is closed as per rec.
Fine. Any comments? Councillor.
Just a complete query offside. When are the twilight races on?
Sorry.
What's the date of the twilight races?
Sorry, I don't know. I'm off the top of my head.
I think it's 11th of December.
11th.
Yeah, it's that week.
Right. I'll put that motion. Please, all those in favour. And I might, if it's indulgence with councils, we might adjourn for a comfort break and some morning tea now. With that. So can I? Right, that's great. Welcome to resume. Thank you. Resume the meeting with the reports of the Divisional Manager, Finance and Administration. And item 1 on that is the reconciliation certificate for 2025. Could I just have a mover and a second of that, please? Being Councillor Mackay, Councillor Kinsey. Councillor Mackay.
Just move that the statement be received and heard. It's pretty straightforward.
Divisional Manager, do you will to comment on anything?
So we're in reports unless there's any questions.
Question? Anyone? Easy peasy. So if there's not, I'll put that be received and noted. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Item 2 of the Divisional Manager Finance Administration. The statement of rates and annual charges. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Surdity, Councillor Houston. Thank you, Councillor Surdity.
No, it looks all pretty good. Nice to see that the election of the rates are still up there, which is nice. Thank you.
Councillors, any comments? Anything needs to be brought to notice? Divisional Manager, do you need or wish to comment on anything? No. No comments, no. Nothing. I'll put that formally to be received and noted. Thank you, councillors. Carried. Item 3 is the works progress. It's not working well there. The works of progress report, finance administration reports. Looking for a mover and a seconder. Councillor Kinsey, Councillor McCoskey, Councillor Kinsey.
I'm just wondering, what the status of the Tabberton Lane is.
We're talking administration.
We're still back.
Oh, wrong one, sorry. I'm having an issue. Yeah.
Something to do with the age? Councillor?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Just very lucky to get there.
We're on,
Yeah, just
we're on,
move the recommendation.
yes, Councillor Kinsey.
You've now stolen your own son. We formulate a response to your question.
Getting serious again, councillors, please. This basically, the office, around behind us here. Any questions or inquiry? Nothing? Councillor Kinsey's even embarrassed. I'll put that money. All those in favour? Thank you, councillors. Moving on to reports, Divisional Manager of Engineering Services.
I'll have another go.
We talk, the first item 1, Councillor Kinsey, works progress reports roads. Looking for a mover and a seconder, Councillor Kinsey. Councillor Kinsey, Councillor Derrett. Councillor Kinsey.
Tabberton Road, Lane, whatever you want to call it. What's the status of that? The issue that might happen there during harvest, Mr. Mayor.
I was informed about Divisional Manager Engineering Services, Sylvester, in a moment, but I was informed the other day that the gravel was heading for that.
How good's that? Thank you, Sylvester.
Sylvester, if you want to comment anymore. If you would like to embarrass councillor more than that, you can.
Just to check, what what page is that particular? Is that a flood damage job you're talking about?
Yeah. I've done an anecdotal report on quite a number of council roads of that ilk that I'll be reporting to the next roads committee. On basically on the what I was talking about previously, councillors, economic justification, economic usage of different roads. Just taken on myself to get that amongst my roads. Obviously, there are some roads in our shire that are economically very important. Some get less and less usage, or less usage. Councillor McCoskey, you've got
Just a question with relation through the chair, same relation to Sylvester, you said the gravel was going there shortly, did you say? So given that there's no list, anything happening on Gradually Lane in upcoming work September, October.
This is Tabaratong Lane we're talking about.
Yeah, no, Taparatong Lane, that's what I'm saying,
Flood damage.
flood damage. But there's nothing in the future works with relation to Taparatong Lane. So the gravel that's going there is in relation to all the flood damage under the scope of works, is it? Or is that in relation to the section of road that is of concern?
Mr. Mayor, is about the flood damage. And I think the concerned section is the flood damage.
That was what I was informed, councillor.
Yeah, and again, I know it's flood damage, but given it's flood damage, it's not listed in the upcoming work schedule.
Mr. Mayor, not yet. It's in the program, but not next month yet.
So it won't be done before harvest.
Not in the program for next month yet, because we have other more urgent work elsewhere, like Ringora Road, that we are currently on.
When's the canola and grain come out of Tabaratong Lane?
In about 4 weeks.
It's about 4 weeks. Yeah.
So there might have to be some urgent maintenance, one little bit of it. Right. Councillor Kinsey?
Yeah, suppose we've said enough about having time. If we can do our best there, that would be much appreciated by the ratepayers that live on that road. The other one, Sylvester, I forgot to mention, there's a light, a witch's hat on the Bogan River Bridge. And some of the occupants in that area tell me it's been there for 12 months, but I whittled it down to 6 months. And it's a washaway of some sort. Are we responsible for putting that there?
Mr. Mayor, is that on the bridge at the boundary?
Yes, yeah. Yep, yeah, on our side.
On our side.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are responsible for that.
Yeah.
I think we programmed some work to do on the bridge.
It's washing away underneath.
Yeah, we are aware of that.
Yeah, okay.
What's the name of the bridge again?
Well, it's Bogan River Bridge, I suppose, Tottenham Road.
It's a boundary between us.
We own the bit that's got the damage.
Well, we own half of the bridge.
Yeah,
The bridge,
apparently,
yeah.
yeah.
Noted.
Noted. I encourage councillors to encourage people to put the blueies in or they contact Sylvester with these matters, especially the media's here once. We had a lot of email traffic and traffic about ones that we weren't even responsible for a few weeks ago, the hole outside the solar farm in Nevertime, which is not our responsibility. At least our staff can put that to the people that are responsible for that. Any other comments on that, guys? Councillors, sorry. Other than that, I'll formally put that in the seat. Thank you. Item 2 is works progress report town services. I'm looking for a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Wass. Councillor Mikulski.
Move discussion.
I'll preempt this by informing councillors that Raymond Burns is on leave, had his knee operated on Monday. My communication with him is that it's he's still in hospital and probably in hospital for a few more days. They've got a few issues they've got to work around, and Director Sylvester's restructured that department and everybody's moved up one level so that these can be all done with that. Looking for any comments about what's in front of you, councillors? You got anything you wish to bring up?
Yes, Mayor, I just provide it on the automatic gate of the program. So we intend to install some readers inside so that people without cars can still exit. As per the earlier comment, the sensor there doesn't work for horses and people without cars. So yeah, plans are in place to install some readers inside.
Councillor Kinsey? Thank you. Thank you.
On page 20, fire hydrants being flushed every now and then, 3 months apparently, every 3. I've never seen them done at Leviton.
Have they?
Have they?
I have seen.
Oh, I live there, but I'm not there all the time. But
Some things that are go around you. Good to see that your own street doesn't get as much attention as the Taberton Lake. Yeah. Sorry, that's I apologise.
no, big off.
Councillor Sturdy.
I can attest. I've gone outside my place and I often hear them rattling around, so it happens.
It is happening.
It does happen. You know, the other comment I have is with the rain that we've had lately, we've often had problems where when the rain comes down heavy, the new, what do you call them, channel things that you put in, that there's a grate right down the end of my place on the corner, right on the corner. I've seen them being flushed out for a long time because they tend to build up with a lot of silt and then it's hard for that water to keep flowing away. Well, do you have any idea when the last time that was done? I haven't seen any for ages.
I defer to divisional engineer, but that drainage point at your house will always be a problem.
Always, yeah.
At Nevertire, it's part of the geo, and taken on notice that that and the maintenance of the exit drain towards the railway needs to be, staff are aware of that and do the best we can.
And the other comment that I have, I noticed that somebody came out and did the mowing at the tower, the Optus Tower for the month.
Yeah.
Or whoever owns it now. Pretty rough job, but nonetheless, you can see if the little slitheries are coming out. How often is that going to happen? If we're going to be on a... It's not, but I've always thought that when I was on council last time, that part of the deal was that they would maintain that, they would keep it reasonably clean, but they can't even get into their boxes to do any maintenance on them, so.
We will continue discussing with that company. There also is some financial considerations with that company being in receivership.
It's been done for summer, that's the main thing, thank you.
Any other comments, guys? Obviously, you'll notice there's some major upgrades to the sewage pumping station out here, and there's a bit of other stuff going on around town. I won't do any comment if I'm not. Divisional Manager Engineering Services want to comment any more, I'll put that. You're right.
Yeah.
So I'll formally put that. Motion in favour. Thank you very much. One of the 3 on that divisional manager report is to work progress report 28. Second, please. Get that underway. Councillor McCloskey, Councillor Burns. Yeah. Sorry.
Through the chair, nothing.
Councillors, anyone else got any comments? Councillor Kinsey?
I presume that fitting a GPS through a grade is for the levels of the loan?
For its location and safety
Oh.
system.
Okay.
the in the long term, GPS can be used for a lot of different things. Establishment of it, I'm told from staff that to fit a GPS to a grader is approximately 80K. It's the way things will be done in the future. Councillor.
Through the chair, I have a question. Yeah, just in relation to the GPS, I noticed we're fitted to a number of graders and I think a couple of rollers or whatever there. How far down the plant line is this going? Is it going to the tender trucks? The operational staff around town and the like thereof?
Yes.
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 So
Would you say, everything that is an engine that can be driven,
Yes, that's right.
yeah,
unless it's private use stuff.
yeah. So at any time of the day, for any item of plant that's in this system, you could log on to a screen somewhere and see where it's been or where it hasn't been, where it is. How long it's
All
got.
the typical fleet information too. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
So it got telematics capability. So it will also help the workshop and their works.
Service works, et cetera. This is, you'll find most state government departments are running this way now. Also, feed, but they've been what they do. The council was you.
Just at our last roads committee meeting, I think we discussed when we were sort of bought the new grader, I think we were talking about, you know, the possibility of GPS on height control and, you know, the benefits. And I'm just sort of, you know, seeing that we've got this GPS positioning business. Do we need to investigate whether these sorts of systems can be coordinated so that we're not having one system for location and then potentially another complete different situation for guidance and height control? You know, we need to make sure that we're sort of systems are compatible and we're not buying one system and then having to buy another one. So I'm just sort of querying that investigation work is being done so that we're spending our money on these systems, you know, to the best possible advantage.
I appreciate your comment, councillor, especially in that the control and movement space of the machinery that has grown exponentially, and your organisation and probably as mine has spent a lot of money, which we systems change. But yeah, the current control stuff from control and operation GPS is completely separate than geolocation one. And yeah, it's up to the plant committee, but and staff, but the investigation of a GPS unit for control and operation would need some investigation. I'm sure we got the right one. Any other comments, councillors? In that case, I'll put that, all those in favour? Councillors. We now move on to reports manager, health development services, and item one for yours is development approvals. Looking for a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Jackson, Councillor Kinsey. Pardon me, Councillor Jackson.
Just move the recommendation that the information we received and noted.
Received and noted. Councillors or divisional manager, do you wish to comment on anything? No. Received and noted. To run through all those in favour with that. Thank you, councillors. The Item 2, is the works progress report, health and development services. Looking for a mover and a second, please. Thank you, councillor Houston and councillor Watts. Councillor Houston.
Let's move that the information be received and voted.
Councillors or divisional manager, councillor Derrett.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a question regarding the targeted early intervention. Given that some of those activities are long past, I'm just wondering about the expenditure column in Newell. I don't know if it's timing for when that has to be acquitted or what that explanation might be. Thank you.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. It is on an annual basis, and it just comes down to, chasing the applicants for their equivalent paperwork.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. So does that mean that the money has or hasn't been spent and the projects are or are not going to be completed?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, the 90% of the time, the monies are already being expended. Yep. And that, it's just a matter of chasing up those organisations for their paperwork.
So there's been a counselling service.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Councillor Watts.
Just on the Yuenma waste depot road repairs, it's a fairly decent sort of budget for what I assume is a couple of 100 metres.
Several hundred.
I get a bit of grief from one regular passerby for the waste depot about screening from the road. Would it be possible to consider, some tree screening as a longer term fix for that? With it perhaps within that budget?
No, Mr. Mayor.
I think so. The screening of subjects like that, the roads definitely no. Screening we need to take to the committee to talk about. Anyone else? No other. Manager, you've got something you wish to bring up? Only with that, all those in favour? Thank you, councillors. Councillors, we have no motions and questions over. We have nil matters of urgency. This council meeting, we have no confidential matters. Presentations. I just formally in front of, before I close the meeting, congratulate publicly your councillors for your first 12 months of your 4-year term. And thank you personally for your help and assistance in the first 12 months. And with that, close the meeting. Thank you.